Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sami Parvez show. Today, I'm joined by Kelly Deridder. She is running for conservative nomination for the Kitchener Center riding. We will be discussing about our campaign goal for conservative nomination for the Kitchener Center. Thank you so much, Kelly, for joining me on the Sami Parvez show. It's a great pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me, Sami. I'm excited for our conversation today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. And you are one of those like just living in Cambridge. I have never had anyone from Kitchener or Cambridge or Waterloo. It is the first time to have a neighbor uh appearing on the Sami Parvez show. And look,
Exciting.
yeah, thank you.
I'm
And
happy to be your first.
yeah, thank you. And so what inspired you to run for Kitchener Center nomination is conservative candidate.
So this is a multifaceted question. I'll start with why Kitchener Center. Uh, I grew up in Kitchener Center. I studied here and I currently work in Kitchener Center. So I consider this riding my home. I graduated from Conestoga College as a mechanical engineering technologist, where I specialized in robotics and automation. I got married here. My daughter was born at Grand River. Kitchener Center is where my heart belongs. So that's why I'm choosing Kitchener Center as my riding to represent. The reason why I've chosen to run is the second question here. And it relates to the drug crisis that's happening across our country. It's actually deeply personal to me and the reason for my nomination run. A walk through Victoria Park with my infant daughter really opened my eyes to the severity of the situation when we encountered a gentleman openly using drugs in public.
Mhm.
In that moment, I wasn't angry with him, but I was angry at a system that perpetuates addiction by inefficient policies. I am a huge advocate for rehabilitation and putting the support systems in place to bring our family members and our loved ones home, rehabilitated, drug-free, and contributing members of society. I'm frustrated, and it's time to work past these failed social experiments put in place by our government and deliver real results for our community, especially here in Kitchener Center. That's why I've decided to run.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, and you brought up like opioid crisis, like but right now Ontario government said they will shut down the safe injection sites. So when and those folks are also like protested like last couple of weeks, and I was also there. They are calling those injection sites should be reopened, and there should be more uh such there should be more of those sites. So where do you stand on that?
I disagree. The safe, like I said, the policies put in place are not working. It's proving to not working. We literally are calling an opioid pandemic.
Mhm.
So safe supply isn't working. We need to implement rehabilitation. That's what needs to happen, not safe supply.
So you think there should not be any safe site in safe injection site, and there should be more rehabilitation center?
Agreed. And I think there's a misconception even in the term safe injection site because it's not safe.
Mhm.
It's not safe for our communities. It's not safe for our children. It's not safe for even the addict because it isn't helping eliminate the addiction problem. It's feeding it.
Mhm.
And so it's not safe. And that term to me is a misconception.
Okay. What should those are addicted right now? As you also mentioned that you met a man in the in the park who was also like was just addicted, like but you are not angry on him. but
Mhm.
on the administration or the government officials who are not doing much enough. So what should be done for people like those? How government should approach?
Number one, it needs to be an easy system to navigate when people are ready to get help. And right now, our system is incredibly hard to navigate for a sound mind, let alone when someone isn't of sound mind and ready for help. It needs to be quick, fast, easy to get in, and the support systems need to be in place that when they're ready to rehabilitate, they can. It's an instantaneous decision that needs to be fed in that moment.
Mhm. And do you think who has more roles to play from the local government, or it should be from provincial or federal level? They should spend more money on this.
As a nominee, with we needing to fund rehabilitation, I align with the conservatives that we need to fund the rehabilitation required.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. And let's jump to the housing crisis and immigration, like the cost of living and inflation. What conservative leader Pierre Pouliot is keep educating for it, X the tax and fix the budget and defund the CBC, some slogans like that. But where do you stand in the terms? Like, let me ask you first. Do you blame the mass immigration behind of these all chaos in Canadian system, like health care, like it seems like there is crisis in the healthcare too, like and housing crisis and the cost of living. So where do you stand, and do you blame the immigrant for this?
So you mentioned healthcare,
Yeah.
right? And at the end of the day, Canada needs immigration,
Mhm.
but it has to be done responsibly.
Yeah.
It needs to keep pace with our jobs, with our healthcare, with our housing, with our current infrastructures in place.
Mhm.
Responsible governance includes responsible immigration policies. I fully align as a nominee and as someone who's able to look at something with a holistic approach. I would advocate for balanced, effective immigration strategies that will help deliver results for
Mhm.
Kitchener Center.
Yeah. Okay, and do you think we should cut immigration level? Like right now, Liberal government announced more cap on international students and temporary foreign workers, but in the past it was something else. Like they just keep bringing more people, but suddenly they change. So where do you stand on it? So do you think at this time we need less immigration, and how do you think a conservative government should lead the immigration level?
So I truly believe that we're putting band-aid solutions to the problem right now, and it needs to be reevaluated and looked at holistically. That's what I believe. We need to take a step back, reevaluate what's happened with everything, with our healthcare, with our jobs, with everything, and how do we make a more balanced approach to move this forward? That's truly what I believe. And band-aid solutions aren't going to work. We need to just reevaluate everything as a whole.
Yeah. And do you believe this all chaos happened due to mass immigration?
Pardon? Sorry, I didn't catch.
Sorry, I said, do you believe these all chaos, like housing crisis, unemployment, and uh, so burden on healthcare system. So this all happened due to mass immigration.
No, I don't think it's a sole contributing factor. No, I
Mm.
don't.
And what plan do you have? How a conservative government should resolve the housing crisis?
Again, as a nominee, I stand with the conservatives
Mhm.
on putting municipalities in charge of building more homes.
Mm-hmm.
The plan right now is, 15% more homes, then the federal government will help fund that, right? You don't meet that target,
Yeah.
you don't get the funding.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be a very simple solution
Mm-hmm.
that I definitely align with as a nominee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and how do you see, like, you are living in Cambridge, and do you think and Cambridge, Waterloo, and Kitchener, are these municipal government are doing enough for making or building houses?
No, we don't have the houses being built. Look at our rent and the actual inventory of homes to rent or buy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, no, we do not have enough homes
Mm-hmm.
in Waterloo region.
So are they lack of funds, or they are just very lazy for doing it?
Oh, I can't comment if it's on laziness.
No, are they lack of funds?
Pardon?
Are they lack of funds?
I don't know. I'm not in government yet. I don't know what the funds they actually have to work with.
Mhm. Okay. And where do you stand with carbon tax? Like, you are running from Kitchener Center, and both provincially and federally they are covered by a green MP and it mean green representatives. So how do you think this carbon tax work here, and where do you stand with respect to carbon tax?
Again, I fully, as a nominee, align with the Conservative plan. We need to abolish the tax now.
Mm-hmm.
It's proven to be a failure and it hasn't reduced carbon emissions at all in Canada. The direct costs are being passed to the consumer, and it's a contributing factor to inflation and the rising cost of living. Me personally, being responsible for millions of budgetary dollars on a daily basis, I have the skill set to advocate for fiscal responsibility and address the cost of rising concerns in Kitchener Centre.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and do you think so again, I'm going to repeat my same question, sorry. Uh if you get nominated, so how are you going to defeat Mike Morris, like he is currently in MP for Green Party, and then he is going to run again. So how are you going to challenge him on green, like this carbon tax? He always says you will get more money, like from this carbon tax, more money in the pocket. So I also discussed with him. So how are you going to debate him?
I'm happy you've asked this question, Sammy, because I really do believe there's three key areas
Mm-hmm.
um, that we would do better. The first is really being a part of a proven plan. So with a conservative Canadian government and people's support to help me become candidate and eventually MP, I would be strengthened to have a voice of actual value in Kitchener Centre as part of a ruling party, right? The Conservatives, all the polls are saying that the Conservatives are going to win a majority government. So I would have a voice in the ruling party, not just a voice of opposition or an unofficial party in the House. The
Mm-hmm.
second is I'm passionate about these people in this riding and this riding. Like I said, Kitchener Center is my heart and my home.
Mm-hmm.
I am motivated to work beyond these feel-good politics and really empower Kitchener Center to take back its future. I truly am. And the third, being somebody who for 18 years, my main duty in my current job is to deliver results. It's what I do, right?
Yeah.
So if the people were to elect me for candidate in Kitchener Center, I would be an advocate for Kitchener Center and I will add value and deliver results. Together, we could really work to do impactful change in this riding. That's what would set me apart.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And should carbon tax be fully abolished, or it should be abolished just for a certain amount, like for gas or home eating or other like it means related things. So where do we stand on this?
It should be fully abolished. Absolutely. It's not making any impact to our carbon emissions. And again, I align with the conservatives. And if I'm lucky enough to become candidate, I will advocate for green lighting green initiatives and focusing on technology, not tax. That's what we need to do to help with the environmental, not tax people with no benefit.
Mhm. Okay. And so so we have seen like most of the MPs only work for the party, like they always promote their party policies than their constituents. So how would you perform for the Kitchener Center? Do you, if there would be a concern between the constituents and the party policy, so where do you stand?
I'm not really sure I know what you're asking.
Yeah, sorry. I said, so let's say if there would be a clash between your party policies and your constituents' views, you know, like as we have always seen, like these MPs always aligned with their parties, then constituents. So where do you stand when something comes up like that?
I'm going to listen to the constituents and bring back their voices to Ottawa. That's what I can do. That's the power I would have as MP.
Okay. So. And how do you see the spending of current Liberal government and ministers? So how do you think a conservative government do better than a Liberal government?
As I've mentioned before, conservatives are known to be fiscally responsible, and this government is not being fiscally responsible. Doubling down on debt
Mhm,
isn't the path to reduce inflation and isn't the path that we need to take for our costs of living here in Canada.
mhm. Yep. Okay. So I need to I don't know like you shared it on camera or not, but I need to ask you again. So I have seen like myself as an independent journalist and like so it is hard to get an elected official to appearing on my Sami Parvez show or any other like independent media or journalist like myself. But it is so right now you are running for nomination, like it is more easier that you would appear. So can you please comment that if you get elected, so you are going to appear in air on again?
Sammy, you're my first interview. I will interview with you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And what's your message to Kitchener Center and those especially conservative members who will vote for you for the next nomination for Kitchener Center?
The number one thing I'm really trying to just spread awareness on right now is that the residents of Kitchener Center can actually get involved in the democratic process now, right? So with my nomination and outdoor knocking, the number one thing that I'm hearing is people want change. But what I'm realizing is that people are unaware that they get to choose who their candidate is going to be in the next election, right? I'm sure your viewers are very educated, well-versed people, come across a lot in my door knocking that were truly unaware that they say who their candidate is going to be for their chosen party. I love this. It's actually the most exciting time anyway, as part of our democratic process, is to say, you are the person that we want to see go to Ottawa, right, for our party. So I'm just trying to spread the word that you can get involved now and it's your vote that chooses the candidate. So that being said, if anybody has any questions on how they vote, or wanted more information or even just want to have a conversation with me, please check out kellyderidder.ca, and all of my contact information is there. And if you want to just have a chat, I'm more than open to do so.
And what is the deadline for this nomination race? And if someone get a membership?
So right now, you'll have to get a membership to vote, but what happens is the party calls nomination. That time frame is up to the party. Once they call nomination, it will only be 48 hours that you could still potentially get involved in the vote. So I suggest if you want to vote who your candidate's going to be, just do it now. Get involved now. Absolutely. Another thing I would like to mention is that if you want to know more about me and my professional achievements or my volunteering initiatives to this date in Kitchener Centre, please go to kellyderidder.ca, read all about me. And if you want to get in touch, my phone number's right there or the contact us form. It's very easy to get in touch.
Okay, thank you so much once again, Kelly, for joining me and sharing your thoughts. As you said, this is your first interview. Hopefully, you will have more interviews in the coming days and weeks. And wishing you a very best on your nomination. And looking forward to having you again on the Sami Parvez show.
Thank you so much, Sami. I really appreciated your time today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you,
Thank
and
you.
thank you so much.